Hey guys, my name is Crystal Ellison. If you don't know me, I'm the author of A Life Less Spoken, which I wrote in memory of my son, Isaiah, who passed away back in 2022. I wrote it in his memory. It's still hard to talk about. I wanted to do a live because I've not really promoted this book because there's so much that has happened since my son passed. I'm also trying to raise suicide awareness and mental illness. Um, it's kind of a hard topic to talk about. I struggle with mental illness myself. Um, I had no idea about my son. Hang on just a second. Um, all right. Um, the book was really hard for me to publish because it's pretty much like a diary. I want people to know, whoever's lost a child to suicide or anybody who else lost to suicide, you're not alone. And it's okay not to be okay. If you need help, please reach out to somebody. When I lost my son, it killed me. But I want to raise awareness that there is hope. Life is worth living no matter what. It can be hard at times. And if I could have saved my son, I would have done everything I possibly could in my will to do it. He was 21. He passed away May 25th of 2022. Very smart, young, talented young man. He was in college to be a nurse. He wanted to be a nurse and a medic, actually, in the military. So he was on his way for that. Sorry, that's Dixie. But this book, I am proud of it. I want people to read it. Maybe my story, my journey will help somebody. This book is very personal. I am proud of it. It is very in depth about how I felt. It's about life. It's mainly about me losing my son and how I had to cope and how I had grieved. Writing this book is what really helped me, but I'm still grieving. People come up to me and they ask me, I don't know how you do it, not living without knowing your son passed away. Well, it's hard. There's not a second of the day it goes by that I don't think about my son. He would have been 23 this year. 2 months. No, I'm sorry. Next month will be 2 years that he's been gone. And it still hurts. So that's why I'm trying to promote my book, to let you know there is faith. I do believe in God. He's given me the strength to do what I'm doing. There's still hope. I've not lost my faith. My faith has grown since I've lost my son. God's given me the strength to write this book, to get by in everyday life, which is hard because I have 2 other children, which they're adults now. This book, I hope, reaches others. I don't wish anybody to lose a child. Even if it's not just suicide, it's the most painful experience somebody can go through. I don't like it when people give me sympathy. I just want them to hear my story. I should have been doing lives a lot sooner, but like I said, it's been one thing after another. I've also lost my mom since this book has been published. That's been hard too. But I want people to realize there is still hope. There is still life ahead of you. There's always going to be a struggle in life, no matter what it is. Um, Life is hard, and that's just the way it is. And I didn't see the signs in my son. I knew something bad. I just felt really sick to my stomach 3 days before he passed. Like, my stomach was turning in knots, and I was like, something's wrong. And 3 days later, I got the phone call. The worst phone call in my life. And I just want to try to raise awareness as much as I can. I do work. I do have family. I have health issues. This book is very important to me, so I'm going to do the best I can. Doing more lives, doing more raising awareness. Thing of it is, people are embarrassed and ashamed about mental illness. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. If you need help, go get it. If you feel like there's no hope, go get help. Someone's out there to reach for you. Get a hold of anybody. I don't care if it's a stranger. You know, that's why I believe, since my son died, I try to do an act of kindness every day. Whether it's open a door for somebody, whether it's giving them a compliment, or, you know, just talking to them and letting them, if I have to listen to them, that's being there. That's helping somebody, because you don't know what somebody's going through. There's so much judgment in this world that makes me sick. Be kind, because you don't know what anybody's going through. And if you see somebody struggling, help that person. I don't care if it's your enemy. Help that person. But this book, it shares a lot of my son's life, how I've coped, how I'm grieving, how I'm dealing with it. There is stuff about my life in here. I just really, really want this book to reach people. That's why I'm going to try to start doing more lives and everything, like I said. I am nervous because I don't ever do this. But the book is titled A Life Less Spoken, My Journey, My Story. It is a poetry book. That's how I like to write. That's how I write my emotions. It's how I write my stories. It's really hard to talk about this type of subject. Suicide, you know, I've talked to people and they're like, oh, well, we can't talk about that. That's too deep. Well, it happens. You know, it's part of life, unfortunately. Suicide happens. Mental illness happens, because it runs bad in my family. You know, my son was the 7th member of my family that passed away. And my son is what got me. It was my baby. You know, he's my oldest son. As parents, when they grow older and they go off to college, it's not like you can watch them. But it don't matter where they're at. Just reassure them that you're going to be there, that you love them, and try to do the best you can, because I know parents can't watch their kids all the time. And especially this generation, this younger generation, suicide rates have just skyrocketed. And it's not the generation I grew up in. I can't imagine being a teenager or a young adult in this generation, because it's so hard and so difficult. And we really got to keep an eye. It's not just on our children. It's family. It's friends. I don't care if it's a coworker. I don't care if it's a boss. You see somebody struggling, you go take their hand and you let them know it's okay. Like I wrote in this book, I have faith, I pray. I have wrote stuff people don't even know about me until they read this book. And losing my son, I think he would think I'm going overboard, but I think he would be proud of me. Like I said, it is really an in-depth book. It will make you cry. It will make you smile, but mostly cry. Um, I know not everybody is strong. People say, "Oh, I don't know how you do it." You have no choice but to do it. You get put in a corner, you're going to have to get yourself out of it. You know, people fall down. It's getting up that's what counts. And if people hit rock bottom, hey, the only place you got to do is go up. And everybody needs help in this world, in this life in general. This book goes all the way back of me having my children, me suffering from depression, and when it comes to my son, it's mainly him, how I dealt with his grief and how I felt, how the guilt I felt when I lost my son, because there was a lot of stuff said that shouldn't have been said. And I've also been trying to pass the Isaiah Nordgren law, which is to demand funeral homes to check birth certificates to ensure parental rights. After my son died, his father and his wife went to the funeral home. She signed her name as Isaiah's biological mother, which was not right at all. I got lied to about where my son was even found. I have been lied to from the get from them. I don't care about them. God can take care of them. I've let God take that fight because I can't fight that. I think Isaiah wants me to say, "Hey, Mom, you wrote this book. Reach out to others." And you also got to think, when people are in that state of mind, they're not thinking about the pain that they'll leave on other people. They're thinking about the pain that they're in. Because I've tried to commit suicide before. And the only thing I can think of was how much pain I was in at that time. But obviously it didn't work. I'm still here. God got me. I honestly shouldn't be alive from everything I've been through. But after losing my son, I believe this is my calling. Raise suicide awareness. And mental illness it's really bad these days. Like I said, this younger generation, it's scary. But I know I'm rambling. I'm sorry. But if y'all have any questions about the book or anything, I will share. I'm ready for it now. It's just really difficult to talk after my son died, after the book was published. I took my time, and it still hurts to talk about it, but I'm ready. So if anybody has any questions for me, I'll gladly answer them. No hesitation. Anything you want to know, even if you want me to read a poem out of the book, I will read it. So do you guys have any questions for those who are watching? Me. Love you too, Heather. Isaiah, I think he would be proud. I really do. Do you have any questions? I'm not used to doing live. Like I said, this is like my second time. But it's my first time being on my author page. So, would you... Hey, James. I miss you too, Heather. You knew Isaiah when he was a little chunky thing. He was such a good kid. But, you know, I don't know what was going on, but I wish I did. Did you guys like to hear a poem out of the book? Sorry, I'm having to look at my phone because I don't know how to do this right. I'm old school. I'll go ahead and read one. Actually, when I was sitting at my son's funeral service in Tennessee, which was really, really hard. This poem took me a week to write. So if I cry, just Forgive me. It's called A Part of an Angel's Wing. This is what I wrote for his service. And hang on just a second. Sorry, I'm kind of blonde here. The moment you arrived, so much joy and love rushed through our lives. I never knew what unconditional love was until you were lying in my arms with tears in my eyes. Praying for a miracle the day you arrived, now I look back, seeing you through God's eyes. Giving you to me and my family, not knowing you have a limited time to spend with us. Your departure from this life has been devastating to us. I only wish I knew what was weighing on your tender heart. I would help you take the pain away. Now you're gone. You left this world without a word to say. I only have what God gave me, a part of an angel's wing. Now you're in heaven, hearing the angels sing. I do not know how life is going to be here without you. There is so much to say and do. I promise you now, I will never forget you, my son. A part of an angel wing is all I have left. I will never forget the sound of your voice, or the twitch in your face when you laugh, or the tears you cried on my shoulder. So many of us miss you dearly. You will never be replaced. I know I'm not the only one who has lost you. You are the missing piece that will always be empty. A part of an angel's wing is what I hold. Now you're in God's hands, wings of white and streets of gold. It's time to take your wings and fly, a part of an angel's wing that will ever forever be loved. But this is not a goodbye. I will treasure you, my son, and the time we had. An angel's wing what I held in my hands and close to my heart. We will all look up to the sky and hope to see a glimpse, a part of an angel's wing, as we watch you fly and sing. So yeah, that's what I wrote for his funeral service. So like I said, this book means a lot. Sorry guys. I don't care how old your kids are, they're still going to be your babies, no matter what. I've really put my heart and soul in this book. I really did. Oh, trust me, I would trade anything to have my son back. Those who watching it who knew him, he could have been a brat. He was a kid, you know. But he was trying to make it in life. He was doing his dream. He was following his dream. I don't know if it got too much. I don't know if the situation was, but this book explains everything. And if anybody has lost a son, or anybody to suicide, please reach for help. Because I've had to help plenty of times. I have to take medication on a daily basis. Or, I have really bad mood swings. I have really bad anxiety, depression. And I don't care. Some people are like, hey, that medicine's for anxiety or depression. You don't need that. So, if it helps you, do it. Who cares what people think? I could care less. I do my thing. That's like when people sit there and judge me. I should take my shoes off and let them see if they can fit in my shoes and see how it feels. This book was my grieving. I still grieve. I've raised good kids. They are my world. They are my life. And this is also a memorial to Isaiah. Since he died, I wrote this book. I've tried to pass a law. I've really been busy. You know, I've been drained a lot, to be honest. But if anybody wants to know anything else about the book, I'll be more than happy to answer. So, you can get it online only. Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I know it's available in ebook, paperback, and hardcover. It has, let me see. It has 152 poems in it. So if that tells you anything, I had a lot to say. I had a lot going on. It took me 9 months to write. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this writing. I prayed. I believe God wanted me to publish this book and share my story. So here I am. And like I said, if anybody has any questions, I need glasses. Betty Baker, thank you. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Jessica. You're in my thoughts and prayers too. Sorry, I'm scrolling. Yeah, James, you knew Isaiah. He was a little bitty chunky thing when you knew him. He could have been a brat, but what kid are... Sorry, I got... So does anybody have any questions about the book? Or is anybody going through some type of mental situation, some mental illness, some struggles? Absolutely. Life is hard, but we have to hold on. Yeah. It's easier said than done, but it can be done. You know, some people my heart goes out to because suicide is not a joke. It happens, and a lot of people want to talk about it, but more people don't. They want to hide it like a secret, just like they want to do the mental struggle. I don't agree with that. Yeah. Worst phone call of my life, James. He passed away May 25th, 2022. His anniversary is coming up next month. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. He actually died a day before my dad's birthday. So, it really broke my dad's heart. And I actually wrote a poem about it. Step by step what happened. Thank you, Heather. Oh, trust me, this is not hard getting on live and doing all this. I'm sorry, James. It can be hard, divorce. It's hard. Some people, some people want to self-medicate. Drugs, drinking. You have so many addictions out there, and even love can be an addiction. But try a different approach. Try a different way. Start going to therapy. Try to find support groups. Hell, get a couple of friends, family, and just get together and chit chat, talk it out, and I think that'll help. But like I said, if it gets bad, go to the doctor. Sorry, my hair's flying in my way. Go to the... Just please don't try to turn to drugs or drinking. That's not the answer, even though at the time it would be, because I'm guilty of it too. Yeah, you're a good dude. I hate to hear that you've gone through that. I've been married twice, and I think I picked the biggest losers on the planet. And nope. I was young and stupid, and I'm older, I'm wiser. We learn from our mistakes. And if people want to judge you, just turn the other direction. Um, Fix you. If anybody needs to talk, just reach out to somebody. I know life is not easy. Like James is saying, divorces, losing a child, losing a parent, um, just anything. Even teenagers, they go through a lot too. Because you remember, we used to be teenagers at one point in time. And it wasn't easy back then either. So, everybody struggles. Not everybody has the same mental capacity. And that's what makes it difficult. There are some people that are stronger than others in this world. Like Heather said, I'm a strong person. I have to be. I still got 2 other boys that mean the world to me, and I got people that love me. I love them. God has given me the strength. God has took some of that weight off me, and here, you do this. You go out there and you tell people their life is worth living. And I am trying to do that. Hang on. Sorry, that's Dixie. Dixie! Oh yeah, Jessica. And it gets worse when your kids are adults and they move out. It's like you can't watch them every day, but you can text. But as a mother, you have mother instincts. And fathers, too, who are actually in their life that have that. I can tell when something's wrong with my kids, even if they're not around me. Just like I did Isaiah when he was in Louisiana and he passed away. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry, I have sciatica issues. Oh yeah, high school. Yeah, me and you, James, we go way back. Jessica actually knew me as a freshman. You knew me as a sophomore when I went to Sevier County. Yeah. Absolutely show kindness. It is. And as hard as this may be, even pray for your enemies. It's hard. Because trust me, I have a huge grudge on the biological father of my children and his wife after the stunt they pulled after Isaiah passed. My kids don't want to do with them, and I can't blame them. But they're adults, and that's their choice. They have their life. I'll support them. And like I tell them, just let me know what's going on. Because they were really hurt after losing their brother. Hush. Sorry. She's nosy. She's got to know everything that's going on. Hey, Em. Yeah, CDL's hard. Yeah. Driving all the time. Yeah. I'm just saying, just reach out. No matter what you go through in this life, it's... Ever since my son has passed, the truth is, I was lied to from the beginning. I've been lied to, I've been lied on, I've been judged, I've been even blamed for my son's death. And I had to hear all this from the detective. That's how I found out they were lying. And I called the funeral home. That's how I found out. And I ended up having to change Isaiah's death certificate and get her name off of it. That was already hard enough losing my son. And for somebody that's not been in their life, that's never raised their kids, that did nothing but mentally and physically abuse their kids, and I fought to protect them, had no right to do that. I'm willing to be honest about everything now. It just took me some time because it really broke me down for the longest time. And it kind of makes me mad if I give up. I am not the person to give up. It makes me mad. If I have to prove a point, I don't care what I have to do to get that point proven and across to you or to anybody. Losing Isaiah damn near killed me. I'm not going to lie to you. I drank a lot because it was the only thing that could take somewhat of the pain, which was not right. I had health issues I still have them, but my internal bleeding got really worse. I was bleeding, weak, drinking. I just laid in bed. I just wrote and cried and didn't want to get out. I didn't want to change clothes. I didn't want to take a shower. I didn't want to do any of that. And then the day I found out Isaiah died, they ended up having to take me to a mental hospital. I got released that night. And then, like I said, I started doing that, which self-medicating is not the answer. Somebody woke me up, and I took all my writing, because that's what I did. Just lay there, wrote, cried, whatever. I stopped drinking. I just pulled myself together, and I asked God to do it. I needed help. And He took some of that pain away, but not all of it. But He took enough for me to get up on my feet, to publish this book, to help others, and especially to help myself. I went to therapy. I started to get back on my medication again. It does help. They say time will heal your pain. Time doesn't heal your pain. You just deal with it. People still ask me how I'm doing since Isaiah passed. I still have a hole. I feel like I'm always going to be missing a part of me. But I've got 2 other boys. I got to be here, and I can't do that to them because I understand what it's like to be suicidal. I know what it's like not to live when you lose a child, and it hurts. Then I lose my mom, and she died of a stomach aneurysm. And I miss her because we always complained about stuff together, And as far as Isaiah, I don't have his ashes. I don't have his belongings like they said. They're narcissists and liars. I've had to change my number. I've had to block them from my social media. I have moved. As far as I'm concerned, they can stay in Louisiana, but Louisiana needs to change that law, the Isaiah Nordgren law, which I do have a petition up for anybody to sign it. I'm not asking for money. All you gotta do is share it if you want to sign it and stuff. I did hear from the White House after I did do this petition. They are going to send it to the appropriate agencies, what they told me. So I'm hoping it passes. This is for the father and the mother. If funeral homes would just check the birth certificates to ensure each parent has rights, that's all I'm asking. Because the biological father's wife had no right to my son. She only knew him a year. She claimed him as her son, said I wasn't the mother. And no. I don't care what background you are. I don't care what race you are. You don't do that when someone lost a child. And as far as I'm concerned, I have my son's memories. I still have stuff of his. A lot of it's in storage. That's why I have not went through it yet. It's hard for me. Every time I find something of his, I just break down and bawl like a little baby. And that's okay. I don't care to show my feelings. If I want to break down and cry of 1,000 people, I'm going to do it. Let people know it's okay not to be okay. And that's the way I see it. And like I said, this book has all that. How I've lost my son, how I felt after losing my son, how my son passed, the lies I've endured, all that. Um, I don't, I don't deserve what I've been through, and especially after my mom died, I didn't deserve that either. Um, I can't travel. I haven't been back to Tennessee since 2015. I'm I'm so tired, like physically. I have my health issues are kind of growing, and it's hard for me to travel. And when people want to judge me, I don't understand why someone wants to pass away and then they want to bestow judgment on somebody. You don't do that. That person needs help. I came on here to promote the book, and it got published last year. But I've been through a lot. My kids have been through a lot. My whole family's been through a lot here. I no longer live in Tennessee. I don't disclose where I live. My friends know where I live. And that's okay. I'll tell them. But I really want this book to reach people. It means a lot to me. And if you've not lost a child and you read this book, you'll get an understanding and depth of pain it is. Like I said, this book is a tearjerker, but it happens. And my heart goes out to any parent that loses a child, a parent, or anything. But my book, again, where did I even put it? Sorry, guys. She was the best person. Yeah. They still live in the same place, James. It's just Troy now. I do check up on him. She had a beautiful service. She actually passed away a month before her 64th birthday. And I had talked to her like 5 days prior than that. So it was a shock, because my mom was the healthiest person I knew. She really was. And I looked just like her, so, you know, a little bit of my dad, but I look like my mom more. She never got to read the book. She knew about the interview I had with the news. She never got to see that because she passed away. So that part hurts. She was really, really rooting for the Isaiah Nordgren law, though. What'd they say, honey? What'd they say? They gonna pass it? And I had to email her and screenshot stuff to her. You know, she was proud of me. That I know of. That's what she told me anyway. Yeah. God, I haven't been in Tennessee in so long. I get anxiety thinking about it, but then I think about if I travel, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I can do that. I'm terrified of flying, and I mean, I'll fly if I have to, but driving, I just don't know if I can handle it right now. I've got to go to an oncologist or hematologist or whatever. I have issues, so other issues. Hey, Scott. But like I said, this book means a lot to me. And I am working on another book. But that's going to be a while. But for now, I'm just going to stick with this, trying to raise suicide awareness. There is a poem I would like to read from here. I sent it to you. If anybody is going through anything, this poem's called Courage. Jesus, give me the courage to live. Let me live. Being brave to see a new day. Give me the strength to move forward with this pain. When I wake up in the morning, I turn to you. Only you can help me through. Small poems have strong meanings too. So if anybody has any questions, hang on. Yes, Heather met Mama. We were teenagers when she met her. Because your mom used to come over my house and I used to go to her house. So yeah, she knew my mom. Thank you, James. I know she's up there with Isaiah. Uh, trust us, we understand. Oh, I know. We have conversations. I've still been praying for you. You're going through some stuff too. And like I said, life isn't easy. We just gotta take it one day at a time, step by step. I have a lot of faith in God. I am a Christian, but I'm not a perfect Christian. But God still loves me. God loves everybody. Even if we're a pain in the butt, you know. But does anybody have any questions about a life less spoken? I love you too, Bridget. Um, no, no one is perfect. No one. No. I'm 42. We all make mistakes. We learn from them. We learn every day. But A Life Less Spoken, Bridget, it's available online. Um, you can get it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Actually, it's on a lot of platforms. So it's grown on platforms. So I can't really tell you. Just if you look up A Life Less Spoken, it'll pop up. Trust me. And like I said, it's available on ebook, paperback, and hardback. I've always loved to write, and believe it or not, I've never been turned down by a publisher. One thought I went to college for writing. Yeah, you don't ever age, Scott. You're like a freaking nature. Like Ryan said the other night, you don't ever age. No, I'm 42. I'll be 43 this year. Yep. I got gray in my hair. I just kind of hid it. Um, so, is anybody... Scott. Me and Scott met back in 96 and we've been best friends since then. God, that's like what, 20 years? I feel old. Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with gray hair. Like I tell people, gray hair is a part of life. Your wrinkles is, hey, you smiled, you laughed, you cried. I think people gotta understand this is how I feel about tough times. Tough times is what make us. They make us stronger. Um, no, you're going to be 25? I remember when your mom was pregnant with you. That's crazy. Almost 30 years. Jeez. Half our lives. Just about it. Thank you. God bless you, sister. Thank you. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sohal? Sohal? Amen. Trust me, I've done a lot of praying. I still do. I pray for everybody and everything else. I believe God's given me the strength to do this. Trust me, I was nervous when this book come out, and I still get nervous when people are like, hey, I got your book, I read it. And I'm like, okay. But it does have a 5-star review, and the people that have read it, they loved it, and it's actually helped them through their problems in life. And that was my goal, you know? Just helping somebody. Because I don't want somebody going through what I've been through which I know there is people out there that are or have, and I hate that. But you know, everything happens for a reason. Unfortunately, we may not know why. I know we're not supposed to question God, and I'm guilty of that myself. But maybe God doesn't answer us right away. He'll let us know later, or he'll answer us then, or we'll figure it out on the road, or we'll get it down and let you know. And if we never find the answer, then it's not meant for us to know. It's just meant for him to know. But every time I've asked, I eventually found the answer or figured it on my own. As we grow older, life gets harder. And like I said, even the teenagers these days, life is hard for them too. We gotta go back to where we were little, when we were young. You know, when we were 21, even 16, you know. Because these days, you got kids just committing suicide, and it breaks my heart. Especially over bullying. Let me tell you something about bullying. I don't like bullies. Bullies are insecure. They are not happy with themselves, and they tend to make other people unhappy. If you're going to sit there and tell somebody and put them down to make yourself happy, then shame on you. I've had some recent events. Even people my age want to be bullies, especially to younger people. I don't agree with that. When you tell somebody they're not worth living, you get away from that toxic person. You get away from that toxic environment. Because your life is worth living. We all have our problems, but that don't mean you have to put it on somebody else, bully them to make yourself feel better just because you hate something in your life. That's not right. God will get you for that. And it can mess up with somebody's mentality. And it's just not right. And I pray for those people. I don't think anybody should tell people that they're not worth living, because everybody in this life, none of us asked to be born, but we all deserve to have a chance of life, and we all deserve to live. What we do with that life is your own business. Everybody tries, everybody struggles. I don't understand why people act like that, and it's mainly due to insecurities. So please, if anybody's watching, don't bully anybody. It's not right. How would you feel if you were made fun of, or being told that you would be better off dead, or just something? If you wouldn't like it, don't bestow it on somebody else, because your life is worth living too, just the same as that person is. Bullies need to make other people exactly right. They need. If you want to feel good about yourself, be kind, be nice. Because, when you put somebody down, like I said, you don't know what they're going through. Even you don't know what the bully's going through. But they're in the wrong. So, like I said, if anybody's out there who wants to bully somebody because you're not happy with yourself, or something going on in your life, or you're jealous of that person, or whatever insecurities you have, stop. Cut it out. Be nice. Live your life and be kind. If you don't like somebody, walk away. And to the ones that do get picked on, walk away. That don't make you a sissy. It's actually makes you a stronger person to walk away. Just to let you know that. And like I said, I pray, I have faith. Just go get help. I'm on my author page. And I have people all around the world on this author page. I know in the United States it's 988. Call 911. Get therapy. Talk to a family member, a friend. I don't care what it is. Reach out, because your life is worth it. You are enough. And when life gets you down and you don't think you can handle it, please reach out. Everybody is worth living. Everybody is loved in certain ways. People that know me know me. I don't know how people will describe me. I've been called crazy a lot, but I just want to live my life in peace. I've been through more tragedies, I've been through a lot through my life. I've learned a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. A lot of regrets. A lot of I don't regret. And a lot of them that made me strong. Made me realize. And if I didn't live the life I had, I wouldn't be who I am. So I'm grateful for that part. And like I said, after losing Isaiah, I just wrote too much to say. I wrote it in this book. And if nobody doesn't know me, you'll know me after you read this book. Because like I said, this is powerful stuff. Stuff that only somebody keeps hidden. I shared my story. I still am. Okay. I will text you later. You are crazy. Thank you, James. I'm not the crazy psycho. I'm like the crazy fun part. Well, I can be crazy psycho too. Just don't make me mad. I'm still working on that though. I promise. So, anybody have any questions about A Life Less Spoken, my journey, my story? And does anybody have any questions to ask? You can even ask about my son Isaiah. Depending on the answer, I will answer. Some stuff I will keep disclosed. How my son died, I do not tell people. Only the close ones to me know that. I had a reason. People make me mad. I didn't start it. I don't know who's watching, but if anybody has any questions, like I said, feel free to ask. I'm literally an open book. Literally. So let me make this. Like I said, it's a poetry book. It's available online. The petition in there. I've got the petition if you want to sign it to demand from your homes to check birth certificates. I think Tennessee should pass this law too. I just think it's a great law. So does anybody have any questions at all about A Life Less Spoken? Sorry guys, I gotta move. Okay. If no one has any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here for the night. I've also got to do a live on TikTok, so trying to spread the word, my story. It was good talking to you guys. I will be trying to do more lives. I will be discussing suicide awareness, mental illness, and stuff that will cause them. I have been doing my research, so if anybody wants to join, that's fine. I will post up on this page or my other page. The ones that know, my other page is my personal page. So, if anybody has any questions before I get off here, just let me know. Oh, you're welcome, James. Just keep praying there, bud. There's always somebody that has been in your shoes, somewhat related. Um, when it comes to your situation, try not to let it get you down. And you have kids, just focus on that. That's what I do. I focus on them. I don't, you know, they're adults now, but I don't care. They're still my babies. Just keep your head up. Take it day by day, one step in front of the other. I try to keep a positive attitude no matter where I am or what's going on. Um, I know it's hard, and nobody likes dealing with a broken heart. Ugh, nobody does. But the good news about being a broken heart is that it can be fixed. Hey, Caleb, can you plug me up right quick? I'm like all surrounded by this stuff. My computer. Shh, sorry. Sorry. Is it plugged up?
Yep.
It's not showing that it is. Sorry, guys, hang on. Nope. Hey, hang on just a second. I'm sorry. I didn't know my laptop was unplugged.
It's plugged up.
Thank you, son. So, like I was saying, take it day by day. Just trust in the Lord. Pray. There are some Bible verses that I used to read that helped me out a lot. I'd have to look them up because my memory is not that great. But I remember I read, what is it? Isaiah. The book of Isaiah had some really great ones. Revelations, Psalms. But yeah, on this page, I try to do little memes to help people keep hope. Don't give up faith. Just keep your head up the best you can. And if you need to talk to somebody, talk. I don't care if it's 40 hours. I don't care if it's 10 minutes or 3 hours. Talk to somebody. Absolutely, James. Oh, well, they're that old? Mine are 22 and 19 now. And, of course, Isaiah would have been 23 this year. It is still hard, but I'm being pushed to do this. So, you guys, this is not easy for me at all. So, I just want you to know that I appreciate you guys watching. And if you all get the book, you'll have an understanding about my faith, about my loss, a little bit about my life. And I've got suicide numbers from all over the world in there. I just want people to get help. Oh, wow. They're grown up. Okay, guys. If there's no questions about the book, I'm going to bounce. So, does anybody have any questions at all before I get off here? Absolutely, Jessica. Well, you know me. You know where I am. You know how to get a hold of me. So if anybody else is out there listening, please get help. Your life is worth living. Your life is worth saving. You are worth saving. And if you're going through tough times, just keep your head up. Take it one day at a time. Try to think about the positive things. I always believe something good comes out of something bad. Just don't give up, because you are needed here in this life. We all are in some sort of way. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you later. Now I've got to figure out how to turn this off.